Yo, what's happening, guys? It's your boy Wolfie here, and we are back with another video on the Wolf of an Aston Villa podcast, brought to you by myself, Connor Wolf. Drop this video a like, drop a comment down below, and hit that subscribe button to my channel. That would mean the world to me. I love having engaging conversations with you as we talk about the topics that I talk about in the video. Also, I'm proudly sponsored by Luke Roper, so if you do want to check out Luke Roper's website, link is down in the description below to his website, luke1977.com. Use the code WOLF20, all one word, for 20% off your whole order, including sale items. So for me, it's an absolute no-brainer. And today, I'm going to preview the Newcastle v Aston Villa game tomorrow night at 5:30. You're not going to like what I'm going to say, but I've got a bad feeling, YouTube. I'm going to put it straight off the bat. I think we've only won once in the last, 30 years at St James's Park. And that was 18 years ago when Kieran Dyer and Lee Bowyer were having a boxing match in the middle of the match. They started punching each other. So Newcastle had about 8 men on the pitch. They had about 5 men. Well, it weren't 5. They had about 2 or 3 men sent off, and that was it. It was an easy win. And ever since then, we've never won. Even a couple of years ago when Newcastle were really bad. We went there under Dean Smith. We were winning, and then they scored in the last kick of the game. Obviously, last season, we were managerless. We had actually just beaten Brentford the week before with Aaron Danks as our, caretaker manager. We then, of course, went to St James's Park, got absolutely spanked 4-0. But then in the reverse fixture, with Unai Emery as the manager, probably, I would say, our best performance under Unai Emery. It was an unbelievable performance. Literally, within the first 30 seconds, Watkins had gone through, smacked the post. We were just on it from minute one. And I think that is how we need to approach the game tomorrow. It is going to be a brilliant game. It's going to be end-to-end. I do think there will be goals. And I think I'll do my prediction at the end of the game. But I do think there will be quite a few goals on both teams, with both teams scoring. So this is probably the team that is going to be playing for Newcastle. Now, I obviously don't support Newcastle, so I did ask Marshall, who is a FIFA YouTuber as well, the team that he probably thinks will start tomorrow. I actually disagree with his team with one player, but this is the team that Marshall has said. Pope in goal, Kieran Trippier at right back, Shah and Botman as the 2 centre-backs, and then Dan Burn at left back. Marshall doesn't think Tonali might not start, so he has gone with Longstaff, Bruno and Joe Linton. I think this is the front three, definitely. I think it will be Almiron, Barnes and Isaac. Marshall doesn't think Tonali is going to start. I disagree. I think Bruno will play as the number 6, and then Tonali and Joe Linton will play box-to-box, in my opinion. And I think that's a good team. Harvey Barnes, in my opinion, will score on his debut. He always scores against us, no matter who he plays for. Well, it's always been Leicester, but he just always scores against us, no matter what. Even Leicester get relegated last season, he scored twice. He definitely scored one against us at the King Power. I can't remember if he scored against us in the game at Villa Park or not, but he just always scores. So, a good team. This is the team that I think we'll be using, though. So, of course, in goal is going to be Martinez. I have a really good idea that I think we're going to go with Concert at right back, Mings and Torres as the 2 centre-backs. And then I think we're going to go with Luca Dean on the left. I then also think we are going to play Jadon Philogene in the Emi Buendia position. I think it will be Kamara and Louise as the double pivot. I think for me, I would probably start Tielemans where Philogene plays, but I've just got a feeling that he is going to go. And you know what? You can't blame him. Philogene has actually been really good in the pre-season. So I think it will be Diaby and Watkins as a pair up front. Where is Watkins? There he is. And I think this is the kind of team that we'll be playing. We'll be playing Digne a little bit further forward. Mings and Konsa in the middle. Kamara and Louise. One thing I would say, though, is don't be surprised if you see Philogene and McGinn swap. But this is basically the team that played against Fulham, but we had then Matty Cash on the right and then Philogene on the left. I don't know why. I've got a feeling that Philogene is going to start, especially now, of course, that Buendia has picked up his ACL injury. I've just got a little feeling that this is going to be the team. I've got a feeling Philogene has had a really good pre-season, and he really has. So I just think this will be the team. If you then think of the way that Newcastle set up, it will be a 4-3-3. You'll have Barnes hugging the left wing touchline, Isaac occupying the defenders, Almiron on the right, cutting in for then the overlap from Trippier. Then the midfield 3 with Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes and Tonali. They will press hard. It'll be a very I think it'll be a very competitive game of football. Like, I think you'll see quite a few tackles going in. I think you'll see a really good tactical aspect. And I think where we can get a lot of joy is down this left-hand side with Luca Dean. I think you saw it in the game in the pre-season friendly where Digne had quite a good first half, actually, with an assist. I think he got an assist, But he had a really, really, really good game. And I think this is probably, again, where it's going to be. Down this left-hand side with then Diaby just floating. McGinn will come inside from the right, as he always does. But I'm excited for the game. I really am. I think I'm going to do a score prediction, though. I do think we will lose 3-2. I think it'll be a really, really, really good game on the Gillette. Is it Gillette Soccer Cell? Whatever they call it now. Saturday Night Football. Whatever they call it on Sky. I think it'll be a brilliant game of football to watch. The reason that I think we'll lose, and I never really like predicting a loss, but there's a few games in the season that I will predict a loss, and one of them is away at Newcastle. I just think we always... the stats tell us we always lose at St James's Park. Like, always. So, I just never fancy us to get a result. First game of the season, Newcastle are buoyant. I think it'll be a tough game, and I think we'll pick up the loss. But, and there is a but, Unai Emery is so good at a one-off. And you got to think of this league game here. First game of the season is almost just like a one-off. Like, everything's on it. All of Unai Emery's focus, all of pre-season will have been on this game. Everything he'll have tinkered with. I know they'll have, like, long-standing effects in the season and stuff like that. But everything that he's tinkering with at this moment in time is for this game. Is for this first game of the season away at Newcastle. Everything. Whether it be using Matty Cash as the right wing-back, using Luca Dean as the left wing-back, using Pau Torres as a left-back or a left-sided centre-back, depending on if we use Cash or Luca Dean. Where does Diaby play? Does he play on the wide right role, or does he play in the second striker role just behind or even in front of Watkins? Does McGinn play off the right or off the left? Is Jaden Philogene going to start? All of these things have come down to this game, the first game of the season, and that's where I back Unai Emery. He's a cup final specialist. He is a cup specialist. This almost is like, I don't want to use a cup final because it's the first game of the season, but like I said, everything you gear towards in pre-season is for this 90 minutes, right? I know it's for the whole season, but the first thing you want to think about is this 90 minutes here. So it's all gearing towards this. I think it'll be a great game, but I think we'll just come out narrow losers, and I don't want to see anyone overreacting about, oh, we played really, unless we did play bad, of course, but I think we might have a slow start to the season and then pick up as the season goes. That's a little bit of an early prediction for me, that I think we might struggle in the first 4 and 5 games. And then after that, when it gets to like October, I think after the first international break, which is I think at the start of September, isn't it? I think we will be a much, much, much better team when we come back from that. I really do. I think we'll have the formation sorted, and I think we'll have the players back. We'll have Ramsey back. We'll have Moreno back. You got to remember as well, YouTube, our whole left side has been absolutely decapitated for injuries. So Moreno was one of the best left backs in the league last season when he joined in from January onwards. Ramsey was on fire when Unai Emery came in that left-hand side role. And then Buendia, who would then cover for Ramsey now when obviously Ramsey's injured, he's now also out for the whole season with an ACL. So our whole left-hand side has been completely done in with injuries. So we are looking quite weak on the squad side. I would expect now a couple more signings in though. I'd probably expect Coutinho to leave, Bertrand Traore to definitely leave, and then Donker to leave, and then I think we'll sign 4 more. I think Zaniolo is 100% done. I think that will get probably announced even tomorrow or the day after. I think that is an absolute done deal. Don't know whether it will be a buy or a loan to buy, but I think that will get done. The player really does want the move. So that's what I'm kind of getting at, that if we do lose tomorrow, which I don't want to come on here and say we will, but I am expecting us to lose, really. Don't get me wrong, I want us to win. Of course I do. I'm a Villa fan, right? I'm a Villa scene to go. I just don't think we will win, but I don't want to see any overreactions if we lose tomorrow. I don't want to see, oh, we're not going to get Europe, blah, blah, blah. We literally gave the whole league a 14-13 game head start last season, because obviously we had Steven Gerrard as a manager who was absolutely freaking awful. And we still finished 7th, 1 point off Brighton in 6th, like I think 3 or 4 points off Liverpool in 5th. So if we lose the first game, it's not the end of the world, and we're still well within the race for Europe. I firmly, firmly believe us this season to really challenge hard for that Europa League spot. Even maybe a Champions League. I think we could, if we have a really good season and we play, basically, if we play as good as what we did in the second half of last season, I don't see any reason why we can't get 5th. maybe even 4th. Like, there's a bit of a question mark over like Chelsea and stuff like that. How good are they going to be? I don't expect Spurs to be good, especially with selling Kane. Now, I think Postecoglou is a good manager, but I don't expect Spurs to be challenging for the Champions League spots this season. I think Spurs will have a pretty average season. So I think it's between like us, Chelsea, Newcastle. Mate, I don't know about Brighton yet. I don't know how they're going to react to losing. McAllister and Caicedo are so good. Like, that is 2 big holes in that Brighton midfield. That I know they can just pick players out of nowhere like you wouldn't believe, but they are 2 massive holes in the midfield for Brighton. So it'll be interesting how the season goes. But tomorrow, St James's Park away, Newcastle away. I am going to predict 3-2 Newcastle. A very good game, high scoring, a worldie of a game to kick the season off. I think Diaby and Watkins will both score a goal each. I think Barnes will score 2 and Isaac will get the other. So come back to this video tomorrow at 8 PM and then we'll find out if that is true. But thank you for watching. Drop this video a like, hit that subscribe button, and drop a comment down below. I want to see what you think for the game tomorrow. Newcastle or Aston Villa fans, of course. Are we going to win tomorrow, or are Newcastle going to win, or is it going to be a draw? But thank you for watching. Remember, spread the love and positivity. PMA, positive mental attitude. Peace out. One love. Up the Villa.